Let's talk about your go-to list for every season. These are fragrances, 5 for every season, so there will be 20 in this list. This is the top of the top. 3, 2, 1, let's do this. Let's start with the summertime. And if you've guys seen this channel, you know that I love summer fragrances, but I'm very particular about my summer fragrances. One of the choices for this was Mandarin plus Molecule 01. This is an awesome fragrance that I have been wearing a lot. Like, I've got hundreds of fragrances, and this is how much I've used up, because this is a unisex, fresh, happy scent. Mandarin in this is so juicy and it's very long lasting, so you get this juiciness throughout you wearing this, which is quite unique, and not many fragrances can do that actually. Many times you get just Mandarin there for, don't know, 20 minutes and then it just disappears. This just, it's there, it's present. It's such a simple, happy scent. It truly smells very natural and like a mandarin. I just can't recommend it enough, especially if you want like a refreshing hot summer scent. Next up is Aqua Sextius, and this fragrance I had to put on this list because I love salty fragrances, fresh fragrances, shower fresh fragrances on men. And this one, if you like fragrances like Aqua from Bulgari, then you'll love this one because it's got that saltiness, but a lot of it. It's like twice as much saltiness in this fragrance, and then you get like a shower fresh scent. It's awesome, it's refreshing, and it's unique because of the dose of saltiness, so I would recommend you checking it out. Next, I wanted to mention a newer release from the house of Bottega Veneta. They have released new fragrances finally, and this is the more of a niche selection, and I have tested all of them, and I love Lauto 5 the most probably because this is such an aromatic herb fragrance, perfect for the summer. When I smelt it, I was like, this is great for just anybody pretty much. It's such a likable scent. It's so refreshing. It smells like you're just somewhere in Italy and somebody is just cutting herbs outside. That's how this fragrance smells, like citrusiness and just herbs. It's so aromatic, so nice. If you love those sort of light fragrances, you'll love it. The only thing is it doesn't last as long as I wish it did, but the scent itself, it's so natural, it's so great. Just yummy. Next, let's mention Layton from Parfums De Marly, and I'm putting it on here because not only you'll get tons and tons of compliments, and I know that you guys are looking for compliments when you're wearing a fragrance, so you'll get tons of compliments with Layton, but also it lasts a really long time on the skin. So in the summer, if you want just a fragrance that is like juicy, it's got apple at the top, it's got a tad bit of sweetness, it's masculine, it's fresh, and it just stays around forever, and actually heat amplifies it and makes it project more, this fragrance is definitely for you. It's just, I love it, 10 out of 10. And the last designer fragrance from this season will be, of course, Hermes, but the fresh version, Freshe. I don't know whether it has the apostrophe on the E, but this is the one with the white cap at the top. It's Hermes, but fresher, cooler. It will be just so refreshing. It's earthy, it's got spiciness in it. It just smells like wet soil in the best way. It's just so refreshing, so masculine. I just can't think of a more masculine fragrance for the summer. It's just classy to the T. Anybody can wear it, but this one is just so good. And if you love the original Hermes already, maybe you have it in your collection, you have to add this one for the summer because it's much more cooling even on the skin. When I applied it, I just found it more cooling. I don't know how they've done it, but it's also more cooling in the air and for your body as you like in the hot weather, basically. Let's move on to the fall, one of my favorite seasons because it's just so cozy, and fall fragrances are just where it's at for me, especially with men's fragrances. I'm obsessed with men's fragrances for the fall. First one I have to mention is Bentley For Men Intense. If you're looking for an affordable fall fragrance, this is must have. Fell in love with it. It's long lasting, it is projecting, it is a great price. It smells a bit chocolatey, a bit boozy, vanilla. It's just magical. It kind of smells a bit like a dessert, but it's not too heavy at all. It's just that perfect transitional fragrance, and it smells so much more expensive than it is. I can't even tell you. So totally worth it, and people will be asking you, what are you wearing? And probably they will be thinking you're wearing like a couple £100 fragrance, but it's not. It's just amazing. Next, oh my gosh, this brand has just stolen my heart. BDK Parfum Tabac Rose. It's magical. This fragrance you have to check out for the fall time. It's a rose fragrance, but it's so much more than that. It's got prune notes, and I can really smell that prune note in here. It's so fun. It's got spices in there. It's kind of like the vibe, the mixture of all the scents. They also produce this kind of like leathery note, which is quite masculine, I would say, although it's got some sweetness, this fragrance, and it's got some freshness. It also has some heaviness to it, and yeah, the prune, I think, mixed with other notes, it kind of smells a bit leathery, masculine, and just so good. I wear it myself. It's a unisex scent, but men can also wear it, and it's the perfect unique scent that people will be really intrigued about, and you have to check it out if you love niche fragrances. Next, let's go to the House of Creed. I have got a couple of my favorite Creeds in here. Royal Oud. This is one of the most expensive smelling fragrances to me in my collection. It smells like this London gentleman. It's such a classy scent. It's for somebody who loves Hermes. This is just up your street. It's woody, it's so spicy, just fresh, projecting, it's mouth-watering, the spices in here. It's such like a beautiful, expensive fragrance that is one of the best offerings from the House of Creed. Guys, if you just maybe tested Creed Aventus, you have to check out this one, because this one is actually my favorite from the House of Creed, along with Virgin Island Water. Next fragrance I want to mention is the one by Dolce & Gabbana. This fragrance is one of those fragrances that when I was thinking of fall, it was the first one I wrote down as I was planning this video, because this fragrance, not only does the bottle looks like fall, it is just the most magical tobacco, honeyed tobacco scent that it's just so cozy, sweet. You'll get tons of compliments with this one. It's just like a no-brainer fall fragrance. It was the first one that came into my mind, and I believe it's because the scent itself is just, women love it, men love it, everybody loves it. It is just a winner, and that is the Eau de Parfum version, not the old black bottle that they just launched last year or the year before. And the last one I want to mention is Grand Soir by MFK. This fragrance is also just such a cozy scent. In the fall time, I believe you want to just to smell expensive and cozy. And this one is for those of you that love wearing camel coats and sweaters in the fall, because there's nothing cozier than this scent. It's just sweet. It's an ambery vanilla fragrance that is one of the most known fragrances for that. It's just one of the best ambery fragrances out there. It's soothing, it's sweet, it's all-rounded. It's just very expensive smelling, and it is quite expensive, but it is such an expensive smelling fragrance, and you'll definitely stand out when wearing it. It's so powerful too, so you get a good amount of wear for your money because you don't need that many sprays. Now let's go to the winter time with snow falling, with Christmas. So we have to, of course, start with Tobacco Vanille because this is the smell of Christmas, okay? If you want to smell like Christmas, I know that I do, this is the one for you. It's such a beautifully blended fragrance of tobacco, vanilla, and spices. It smells like ginger cookies. It smells just like Christmas fairs, basically, and it's a powerful fragrance. This one, it's my signature scent for the fall and winter time, because I wear it and my husband wears it, we both wear it, and even my mom said that this smells like us in the winter time because we wear it so much. So if you've got a partner, they can also pull it off. It's a unisex scent, but the tobacco note, sometimes it's too much for women, so it's more of a masculine scent. Initio's Rehab, this fragrance, winter, snow, just winter wonderland scent. Even the bottle, it's white. It's such a soothing lavender scent. It just smells like beautiful white powderiness in the air. There is nothing like it in my collection. It's just the scent of calm. If you like go outside in the snow, you're walking around and you just hear your footsteps on the snow, just this little bit of like this is basically it. Just such calm softness, such a good scent. Can't recommend it enough. Next, the Blazing Mr. Sam. This is, I thought that the George fragrance was my favorite. This has topped it. If you like coconutty, woody fragrances, look no further. This is a heavy coconutty, woody fragrance that is masculine and cozy. It sticks around for a very long time too, which is great. Some fragrances from this brand, they don't have the staying power, but this one totally does. It stays for such a long amount of time, and it's got something unique to it. It's not just a copy of everything else. I love it, and it's one of those fragrances that my husband has been wearing a lot because it's just so soothingly different and masculine at the same time. It's just like a London gentleman's fragrance. Let me know what fragrances, one fragrance for each season, which would you pick from your collection. Next, Fragrance du Bois, New York, Fifth Avenue. This fragrance, oh my gosh, caramelly, rose, oud. This is a fragrance that will just take you to winter in New York, because that is what this fragrance is supposed to do, and it really does it so well. It's a scarf fragrance that will stick around for such a long amount of time. It smells so expensive. If you like oud fragrances, then this is a really amazing quality, and it's got this softness to it which is just magical and really makes you want to be in the wintertime. Even though you might be in the summertime, you're like, this fragrance just makes me want to go like on a holiday in New York or somewhere like with loads of snow. That's what it is. And the last fragrance for this section is, of course, Spice Bomb XM from Victor and Rolf. This fragrance for me, it's again very cozy. I wanted to throw in a designer fragrance here too, because this one, it's cheaper than everything else, but it's not any worse. It's just as good. Many people find it irresistible. You can wear it on dates. You'll get loads of compliments for it because it's such a likable DNA. It's a tobacco scent. It's sweet. It's spicy. It's really punchy, I would say, but soft at the same time. And like, if you want somebody to literally want to run up to you and hug you, this is probably the best fragrance you can buy. And lastly, let's go to springtime. The first fragrance that came to my mind like this was Elysium by Roja. This fragrance is spring to me, spring in a bottle. It signifies all of the flora just coming alive. That's what this fragrance smells like to me. It's got this freshness, but also it's got this coolness to it, like the spring breeze that, you know, you get the sun that is getting really warm, but in the wind you're still a bit cool, you need a jacket. This is that for me. It's got this coolness to it, freshness, loads of different citruses, loads of different spices to it. It smells so fresh. It has got a huge scent bubble. You'll definitely get compliments for this. This is like your everyday fragrance for springtime. Also, you can wear it all year round, but this just, if you love spring fragrances, this is the one that you must check out. There's nothing more refreshing than this fragrance. It's just, oh, I just love it so much. Next, I have to mention Oud Wood, of course. This fragrance will get you tons of compliments every time that you wear it. It's a dry, woody scent. It's easily accessible, which I like also, because with some of the niche fragrances, maybe they're not so easily accessible. With this one, you can go to a store, test it and see if you like it. This is very springtime for me because it's got the heaviness of the woods, but it's not as heavy as like your winter fragrances that also have got that sweetness, but it's not too light. Either it doesn't have that citrusy freshness that many summer fragrances have. So this is like your all year round scent, but a perfect springtime scent. So masculine, like this is alpha masculine scent. Next, we've got Amers Homme. This fragrance, one of the best MFKs for men. No kidding, if you don't like Baccarat Rouge because it's too sweet for you, try Amers Homme. This is a coconutty, chocolatey, sweet, but very fresh scent for men. Lasts literally like 12 hours plus, 14. I have gotten compliments on this after like 12 hours. It was still so strong. I wore it on my scarf to test it, and it's still there. It's such a strong scent, so you really get your amount of money. I've got the extrait version, so unique. It could be your signature scent, and also I've put it on this list because it has that coconutiness, but it also has freshness. So it's in the middle ground of, you know, not too fresh, like shower fresh, not too heavy. So if you like those middle of the line fragrances, this one really, I don't know why it's not talked about more because it's just so good. Next, I've got this baby, Encre Noire Vetiver scent. Straight up masculine vetiver, simple, affordable, and just so good. That's all I have to say about it because I have said so many things about it in the past, about this scent. I just love it so much. Okay, and the last fragrance is, I've got like two in the number one spot, it's between Montblanc Explorer and also Creed Aventus. I just actually bought Creed Aventus for myself, but I'm not unpackaging it yet because I have to do something with this first. But yeah, if you want a spring fragrance, this is an all year round fragrance too. Like many spring fragrances, I feel like they are perfect for all year round, but spring fragrance killer. Montblanc Explorer, it's ambroxan, it's got citruses there, bergamot, it's got woodiness in there, but a very light woodiness. Alpha male fragrance that gets 10 out of 10 compliments. That's how I would describe I can't speak because this fragrance is so good. That's how I would describe Montblanc Explorer, as well as Creed Aventus. They've got a very similar DNA. The price difference, there's a gap there, but it's just which one you prefer. This one is cheaper, but you'll get just as many compliments. The problem is with longevity of it. So do keep that in mind, that you have to reapply a lot. I'll link all the fragrances, of course, down below for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.